Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In today's episode I have fitted these two floodlights from Osram for less than 50 quid onto the Discovery 3. Now the specs on these lights are really good. So they're IP rated, they're E marked, and they've got nearly 2000 lumens. So they are a great bit of kit. And the reason I fitted them is because before I had my beacons on there, which were really no use to me. So they had flashing beacons on there from when it was a motorway service vehicle. It's got the wiring already, it's got the switch in the cab. So I thought, why not make use of that wiring and actually fit something that's good for me? So I fitted the floodlights. I'm going to show you what they look like in the dark as well. Now, I could have gone for spotlights, but I've gone for floods because these are for off-road driving. So I want to see obstacles that are right in front of me. I'm not too worried about distance driving and spotlighting the road ahead of me. The lights are pretty adequate on the Disco 3, but for off-road driving, I think they're going to be really useful. So let me show you how I fitted them and just how easy they are to integrate into that grille, because it's a super easy job. And for less than 50 quid, it's an absolute bargain. I had a little look around to see if I could find some that would be quite discreet and fit in there. And I've come across these Osram ones, which look really nice. And they do just slot in a treat. So they're a little bit bigger obviously than these ones, but they're going to give me some really good light, but they do sit in and they come with a bracket. Now I'm going to have to modify the bracket slightly, but I do think this is quite a nice, neat solution if you've got the Discovery 3 grille on your vehicle. So we're going to have a look at doing that now, and then I'm also going to remove the beacon on the back on the roof. Now, I don't really like drilling holes in the roofs of vehicles, and someone's already done it and it is letting a bit of water in. So I've got myself a special piece of equipment that will make sure that it'll keep it waterproof. I'm going to blank it off for now until I sort of decide what I'm going to put on the back of the vehicle, whether it be a floodlight, a work light, or I'm not sure just yet, but we're going to blank it off to make sure we keep it nice and waterproof. So if you were doing this yourself, there's loads of different wiring solutions out there to actually put lights onto the front of your vehicle. You can get them wired in so you can run them off your existing lighting loom, or you can just run an independent power from the battery, and then you want to run the switch into the console. It's not too hard, to be fair, because obviously you can just run straight from the battery with an inline fuse and go for it that way. These guys have gone in via, you can see the wire here, they've gone into the fuse box, so we know it's fused. We just need to do a slightly better job of getting this all put together. So we're going to snip all these off now and see where we are. Now these have definitely seen better days, so let's get some lube on there and let that soak in for a few minutes. So when the grille's on, and this is the great thing about these, you can just do a quick clip. When they're on, I want them to go quite wide, so I'm going to sit it in there, which I think looks really nice. So normally you would just quite simply attach your bracket here and they would hang down. What we can actually do is put the plate in that way, and there we can do a bolt through there and into this. And I just need to mark, you can just see my black line there. That's how I want it to be mounted. So really I'm just giving myself that hole at the top, just wants to show through. So I now need to mark where I'm going to put my new holes. And that's a 6.5mm hole, give us a little bit of wiggle room. And I've actually drilled these out to 6.5 as well, just to bring them a little bit closer to the edge, because I think that's what we need. So we've got our bolts in now. I've foregone the washers so I can get the thread in nicely there, but you can just see we've got enough room in there for our bolt to sit through, I hope. Yep. We drilled through there with an 8mm and mounted it on, but it's actually clamped in perfectly with those brackets, but it's definitely not going anywhere now, and they're all nicely set in the grill. So we've got the power feed coming in. We've obviously done a double piggyback joint on there. We've piggybacked that wire off. We've zip tied it onto the grill, and we've gone into our second lamp. So let's get it on and see how it looks. There we go. Wow, they are bright. We've got multiple projects going on here, so excuse the wires, but in here we have 2 bolts, as you can see there. So you can see the rust on the bolts there, and that's where we're getting our leak from, and we're going to sort that out now. So let's get that off. This is what the problem is. So we've got our unit off. So guys, you can see that this area is pretty drastic, and I think I'm going to have to attack it with the sander just to get it down, get all this loose material off, all the lacquer, and then we'll treat it with this Dynatrol. This is a corrosion protection, this is rust converter. We'll do that before we do anything else, and then I think ultimately we're going to have to treat this. What I'm trying to do here is get rid of some of these feathered edges, because clearly that's going to continue to lift. There's a crack there, so I might have to go for something a bit more aggressive. So I had a 80 on there, and I'm going down to a 40, which does seem really harsh, but it's going to lift what we need to lift. Okay, so this is purely remedial. This is not a permanent fix, but I do want to treat this and get something on it before it turns bad. So this Dynatrol, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see it change colour straight away. So it should turn all this rust black. Okay, so have we gone black? Yes, we have. So there we go. You can just see here where it's tacky now, so that's good. So it's turned the rust black. That's working against it. It converts the rust into a stable material. So the product I want to use for running a cable out of the roof is this cable seal from SCANSTRUT. Now this is a marine application part, and it's basically designed to be completely waterproof on the vehicle. So you get all these nice little grommets in here depending on what thickness of cable, of wire you're going to be running into the unit, and so that basically keeps a watertight seal there, and then it drops in through the bottom, as you can see on the instructions there, look, and you get another waterproof seal where it joins the roof top. Now I don't think this is quite big enough to cover. I'm going to have a look now and see just how much of it will actually cover. So you can see the unit there, look, that's where your cable passes through. And it's just basically 4 self-tapping screws that go into the roof with a gasket, and then you can just run your cable, and then once you've got that fitted on the roof, you don't have to take it off again. You can just unscrew there and the housing will come off. But is this going to be big enough? I've got a couple of these fir tree clips I actually used on the Defender when I fitted the new leather door card, and they almost fit, but I'm going to just drill these holes, just make sure these are drilled out to 6mm, which they are. I'm going to use a little bit of sealer just around the top. And the good thing about this stuff is you can actually, I'm not going to need much at all. I'm actually going to fill the hole itself like that, and I can trim the excess off. 1, 2. So this is our seal that's going to go on here. It's the right size. So we'll peel the backing off there, it's adhesive. All we need to do now is just put our cap on. So this will do for now, and then we've got a hole under there, so when we're ready to fit, I don't know, whether it be a work light or a spotlight, whatever, we can just remove that cover and we're good to go. I'm struggling slightly to know what to call that thing we put on the roof, but it's kind of like a waterproof wire channel mount that we fitted, and I'm really chuffed with it. I think it looks great, and it's just nice that you can blank it off, because not always are you ready to actually put a wire in there when you're doing the assembly, so it just means it's nice and watertight. So that's all sorted out now, and I'm going to get things done and tidied up at the back there. Now, you may have caught in the background on a couple of those shots that I have actually started to build the camping system in the back of the Discovery 3. So we're actually building a drawer system, or more like a shelf, a sliding shelf system, and that is because I found these amazing products that I think are going to really make the installation of some overland kitchen, camping, storage area in the back far more affordable for people, and it's just such a fun project to take on. So I'll be doing that in the next few days. That's probably going to come out in a week or so, and I think you'll really like that. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.